What is up, guys? It's Noelle. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, what is up? So today on our hot and spicy agenda, it's actually going to be something a little bit cool and calm because I will be eating a Disney Frozen themed ice cream cake while talking to you guys about something that I just recently watched the other day. Let me do the honors. I don't know if I open this one. I think it's honestly kind of melted. I kept this out for like 2 hours. Ooh. Oh yeah, guys, it's totally melted. I'm gonna have to eat it through the box. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. Guys, I love ice cream cake. Okay, so basically I just watched the documentary, The Social Dilemma, on Netflix the other day, and wow, did that just throw me for a loop. Basically, I kind of already knew all the stuff that was said, but to just hear it explained by psychologists, engineers, doctors even, how adverse the effects of social media are on our brains and like also how we socialize with others, it was just very disturbing to say the least, and I have a lot of thoughts about it, so I just want to talk to you guys about them. Sorry, so good. So basically, I've been reflecting a lot on my social media usage. I feel like as a young girl, I didn't really care that much about how I looked, but I don't think that's because I like necessarily was the most confident. I just don't think that it was at the forefront of my mind, meaning I was more interested in like my dance abilities or like my acting abilities or my singing abilities, because that's where I derived my self-worth from, if that makes any sense. Anyways, I think this all started to change when I went to college because I was around a kind of culture that heavily focused on looks. Your looks kind of served as social capital, or not even just like looks, because you didn't necessarily need to be conventionally attractive, but it was more so like if people perceived you to be an attractive person or a cool person, which mainly was garnered through your social media presence, you became a person with more social capital and more people liked you and wanted to be around you. And it was really strange for me because I'd never really been like that before. I would post a picture that I really liked, but it wouldn't necessarily get a lot of likes or comments, and then I would start to question things like, well, do I not look good in this photo? Do people not think I'm pretty? Do people not care about me? Which is something they talked explicitly about in the documentary. They talked a lot about how our endorphins and sense of self-worth are tied to our notifications and how many likes and shares and comments and attention we get on our personal profiles. I don't know if you're familiar with the feeling where like your phone dings and immediately you get this like rush of like, oh, what can it be? I think as a society, we collectively place a lot of importance on people that have large followings in a way that we kind of make them seem like they're larger than life, and they have more social capital or value because more people know who they are. I was literally just talking to my friends earlier on the phone about this. I started to compare myself to a lot of people on the internet. It's weird because it wasn't necessarily that like I wanted to look like anybody specifically, because I can't necessarily think of anybody off of the top of my head that I want to look like. I think it was more so that I saw all of these other people who were doing all of these things to their bodies, or at least perceived to have a certain facial structure or body type due to body modification or Snapchat filters or Facetune or whatever it was. So rather than it being like, oh, I want to look like somebody else, it was kind of like a, oh, if I do this to myself, then I'll look better. I became really hyper focused on my nose specifically. At first I used to care about my body. I feel like I got over that kind of quickly because I feel like my body wasn't the first thing people looked at. I felt like when people saw me, the first thing that they looked at was my face. So I started to obsess over tiny things about myself and my appearance, and I started to have really negative self-talk towards myself about my body and my face. And I was like, well, if you had this feature, or if this was smaller, or if this was bigger, then you would feel better about yourself, or maybe you would feel prettier, or like you had more worth, I guess. A lot of people have a lot of dysmorphias because we participate in things like Snapchat filters and Instagram filters, and we arch our back so our butt looks the best, or we'll turn to the side, or we don't smile so people don't see crooked teeth or whatever. And because of that, they have a warped sense of how they actually look in real life, because it's almost as like you know in your head that that's not how you naturally look. You know in your head that you have to modify modify yourself and modify your body to look a certain way. So as a result, when you post those pictures on social media and people say that you look beautiful in this picture and your butt looks so good and your legs look so long and your skin looks so clear, you start to have this kind of dissociation with yourself where you recognize that the person you see on the screen isn't the person that you feel like you are in real life, and that has a lot of detrimental side effects. In my experience, I would do this where I would try to make my legs look longer because I was really insecure about my height, try to turn my nose to the side because I thought my nose looked really big head on, and I became so obsessed with that image of myself that I had a really hard time understanding, acknowledging, and accepting how I looked because I was constantly always seeking to try to change that. I would like literally stare at myself in the mirror for hours and just pick apart my face or my body and be like, oh, I don't like this about myself. I don't like this about myself. This person looks like this, and if I looked like this, I would look better, and people would think I was prettier, and I would achieve this unrealistic standard for myself. More that we teach people to become less obsessed with always trying to come off their best on social media, the more people will find peace with how they actually look and find love for themselves. Instagram and those apps are designed to keep you on them. And the beauty industry, the tech industry, everyone's trying to make a profit, right? And the way to make a profit is to sell stuff to us. The beauty industry would not exist if people weren't constantly making people feel bad or ugly or unworthy. When these models do advertisements in their bikinis or on vacation or doing whatever it is that they're doing, it's supposed to make you wish that you could live their life, or you could look like them, or you could experience life like them. So you buy whatever it is they're advertising because you want to feel closer to that. I feel like it's such a beautiful thing to share things about our life and to be able to connect with people all over the world. I think that's so incredible. Like they said in the documentary, social media is like simultaneously a utopia and a dystopia because there's so many incredible things that come from the internet while simultaneously having all of these terrible things. Sorry, I need to have an ice cream break. Oh, I feel like it's really difficult for me figuring out how I feel about this topic because the job I want to have, I have to use social media, and it's really hard for me because I hate posting on Instagram. I hate like doing my makeup and taking pictures. There's this whole pressure for when you want to be in the industry that you have to post every day and always look your best, and I just feel like it's really exhausting for me. And honestly, lots of the women that I know that do that constantly, it's very exhausting for them. And I just like haven't gotten to the place in my life yet where I like care that much enough about it where I'm willing to do that. It's really hard for me, honestly. I want to do the work I want to do, but I don't want to have to participate in something that honestly like impacts my mental health. Something that has helped me a little bit is making sure that I follow people that make me feel happy. A lot of people follow people that make them feel bad about themselves, and I never understood that. If this person makes you feel insecure, why are you following them? I don't honestly follow a lot of celebrities, but I follow lots of people for like style, inspiration, things like that. I follow lots of like motivational quote pages, obviously astrology pages, because obviously. Also, something that's really helped me with this is to turn off all of my notifications, and like the only notifications I get are for phone calls and texts, and to also keep my phone in do not disturb all the time because it was getting to a point where I was just getting so overstimulated with notifications that I was just like, I don't need to know this person did this person did this person liked my photo. Like I can see that when I open the app. I talked about that a lot in the documentary too. They were like, if you turn off your notifications, that'll help because notifications are ways to pull you onto the apps so that you can spend time scrolling, so that they can show you ads, so that they can make money off of you. And to help honestly with like my self-esteem and how I viewed myself, I just had to stop looking at people that made me feel bad about myself. And I had to focus on myself and learning what it is that I loved about myself. I don't always have days where I feel good about myself. I think that's kind of normal. Literally, like the other day I texted one of my best friends and I was like, I'm gonna archive all my posts on Instagram. I look so bad. I don't want to participate in that kind of culture anymore. So I'm trying to find a way for myself to be able to actively pursue what it is that I want while also preserving my mental and emotional health, because I feel like social media is super toxic. And I just am making the choice that I don't really want to participate in it that much, or rather participate in it in a different way. I love being creative. I love making stuff. I love making videos. I really love taking pictures. I love photography, love editing photos. But I don't know, then once it comes to the whole posting and stuff, I feel like if you're not the most self-confident or self-assured, which for being honest, most people aren't, it becomes a very toxic place where you can rely on it to find your self-worth, which is not cool. Businesses literally profit off of us hating ourselves and spending so much time on the app so that they can make money. Like, they don't care about our mental health. It's a money-making machine, and there's honestly no incentive for them right now to modify or to regulate these sites, because the more time we spend on them and the more time we scroll and the more time we look at other people and advertisements, the more that they make money. So it's on ourselves to find a healthy way to navigate these places, because if not, it will eat at you, and it's just not healthy. If you haven't watched the documentary, I would strongly suggest that you do. I think it's really enlightening, and it also, during the whole documentary, you'll probably find yourself reflecting on your social media usage and trying to find ways to make it a healthier place for you. Every now and then, just check in on yourself. If somebody doesn't make you feel good, you shouldn't be engaging with their content. The sun is saying wrap it up, Noelle. So that is the video for today. Please let me know what you think, and please let me know if you've been feeling the same way about social media, and if sometimes social media makes you feel bad, because I feel like that's literally so normal. Like, every single person that I've talked to about this, which has been a lot of people, feel the same way. So I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to talk to me about something a little more personal, always feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll put it right here. But also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I can't wait to see you guys next Wednesday. Bye!